This is just the burlesque show at the beginning.
I'll look later because I'm scared right now. You think that girl's looking up stuff? You think that girl's looking up stuff at them? Because his heart's out. His heart's giving out.
This is just the burlesque show at the beginning. So you want to play? Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
no, we're going to have to say that anymore, are we? Actually, we have to say that in this country now.
What's that?
Legally, we have to say
That's right.
ladies and gentlemen,
Right.
because we've been told by our... Now, I'm not going to get into this. This is controversial.
Okay. All right.
I'm not a controversial type of person.
Right. Well, what, you don't want to talk about what you feel about that?
I definitely do not want to talk about what I feel about
Right.
anything.
Me neither.
I am just here to read the poems.
Excellent. Well, that's got some feeling, I would think.
Yeah, that's right. They're my poems.
But they're yours, exactly.
My name is Ron Throop. If you don't like the poems,
And my name's Charles Thomson.
if you don't like the poems, complain to Ron Throop in Oswego, America. You can tell him because he's bald on top.
Hey, watch it. You are too if you didn't have any hair.
Yeah, I'd be bald. If I didn't have any hair, I'd be bald as well.
Exactly.
That's the way it goes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I keep on saying that, it's very old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Audience members. A very large audience. I'm pleased with the turnout. There's actually standing room only in the audience at the moment, namely because there's only one chair. But it sounds good. My name is Charles Thomson, I think, and I have brought along some of my little poems to recite. And I'm throwing it open to the audience. Is there anything you'd like me to do? Any of the hits?
What's that one where we shout out Nicholas
You want to do
Sirota?
that one?
Sometime. I like a Stuckist International.
Stuck is International. They're based on Hotel California
That's how I remember it, yes.
by the
Eagles.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Right, well, unfortunately I won't be singing it, so if you don't know the words or the tune, it's not going to mean quite so much to you. But if you do know the original, Hotel California by the Eagles, which probably most people do, you'll get this one. So this is Stuckism International after Hotel California by the Eagles. In a bleak and white-walled gallery, no art visible there, just a sign for £1 million attached to a broken chair. Beyond it in the distance, something didn't seem right. Some kind of dead animal in a tank. It was a boring sight. I hastened out of the gallery, rising vomit I couldn't quell. And suddenly I realised, this isn't art or a gallery, this is hell. But there was hope at last, now I can see the way. Some artist burst through the door. I'm sure I heard them say, "Welcome to the Stuckism International. Such a brilliant lot, such a brilliant lot. They're the best we've got. Everyone's welcome at the Stuckism International, except conceptual art, except conceptual art. That's a world apart. Conceptual art is boring. It drives you round the bend. It's a lot of pretentious junk and noise, and theory without end. Seeing through it isn't hard, is it crap, you bet? Stuckist art's to remember, conceptual art's to forget. So I called up Charles Thomson. Your art movement's looking fine. He said, yeah, Stuckism's been going strong since 1999. With 13 artists to start, there's 200 groups today. We are the army who march through the night. This is what we say. Welcome to the Stuckism International. A creative lot, a creative lot. They're the best we've got. We're making great art at Stuckism International. But no Turner Prize, no Turner Prize. That's no surprise. Stuckist art's on sale. It's worth 10 times the price. Buy it now before the rest of the world catches up is my advice. The Stuckist paintings are classics, they'll be in museums one day, and you will live to regret it if you don't buy it today. If you don't listen to history, it will sneak in through the back door. The shunned art movements take over the world, that's the universal law. And to those artists who've come and gone, no matter what you do, it's true, you can always leave Stuckism, but Stuckism will never leave you.
Very nice, very nice. I'm looking at that.
That last couple of lines was a suggestion by Ella Guru, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Really good. Because was it the original is you can leave Hotel California, was it the Hotel California will never leave you?
It's like that.
Yeah,
you can check out but you can never leave, or
something
Right,
like
that's
that.
right, yeah.
So it's true, you can always leave Stuckism, but Stuckism will never leave you.
That's right.
As I think some people have found out to their cost. In fact, anybody who's tried to leave it has not been able to escape far.
No.
There was
a chronic disease.
there was one article about Billy Childish who said this is the thing you'll be most remembered for.
Oh, what, Stuckism?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
I don't suppose that went down very well. I should point out that I had the idea for Stuckism and asked Billy to co-found it with me, which we did together in 1999, and then he left about 2.5 years later. Sometimes he says 12 months, but it's actually 2.5 years. And people say, why did Billy Childish leave the Stuckists? Which is completely the wrong question. The only appropriate question is why the hell did he actually join with the Stuckists in the first place?
Why is that?
That was because I think he was a bit of a loose end in his life.
Oh, okay.
He was in between relationships, and so I think Stuckism substituted. And as soon as his wife came over from America, he left that same day, as soon as he could.
Okay, yeah.
He did talk about leaving earlier, and I asked him if he could stay on for a bit longer, you know, to sort of consolidate things. He had a massive input into Stuckism because it was his idea to write the manifestos, which you can find online at stuckism.com. I don't get paid for this, by the way. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've said it again, it's old habits die hard. Members of the audience, all of you,
Both of us.
and both of you, that doesn't sound so good.
No.
Please, if you have a favourite poem, let me know, apart from the one you want.
Is it art?
Yeah, you want that one? do you?
No.
No.
The tube train.
I haven't got a tube train here.
Isn't there one on the tube train?
Yeah,
One of
but-
your poems.
no, sorry, I meant out of the ones I've already read. Cause
Oh, right.
Because we don't remember, we had to say because. It
Oh,
was an
you
audience
did you
participation.
like that one?
Oh, I liked it very much.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I also like the one, the Sir Nicholas.
Yeah, I like that one. Biff was good.
Well, we'll do because. Okay, so the deal is, when I do that, you have to go because. So let's practice. 1, 2, 3.
Because!
Oh, that's not bad. Better than last time.
Well, it's the closed
So this is called Why Do I Paint Pictures? Why do I paint pictures?
Because!
Once I looked at the blank white wall of my living room and realised I preferred a wall with a picture on to a blank white wall.
Because!
I've got to do something rather than atrophy.
Because!
I like squeezing tubes of paint and holding a brush and brushing the paint onto a canvas.
Because!
I have an urge to express things.
Because!
I have a need to explore and progress.
Because!
I want to unite what is inside with what is outside.
Because!
I have a spirit and a soul.
Because!
I can earn some money.
Because!
Some people like them.
Because!
I like them.
Because!
I am enchanted and transported with colour.
Because!
It's a revelation.
Because!
I've always done it.
Because!
There is a sense of achievement.
Because!
I stand alone.
Because!
I've bought the paints and canvases.
Because!
I need them for a show.
Because!
Otherwise I would sit here watching television all day long.
Because!
I can communicate with the world.
Because!
I can paint my friends.
Because.
I can paint imaginary scenes that are more real than the scenes around me.
Because.
There is a tradition.
Because.
I relate to past artists.
Because.
There is a need to stand up to the innovation of conceptual art.
Because.
People expect me to.
Because.
I want to.
Because.
I am driven to do it.
Because.
I am part of the Stuckist movement of artists.
Because.
I do.
Yeah.
Well done.
Oh, sorry.
The chorus was pretty damn good.
The chorus was bloody good. We could just do the chorus on its own. Let's have a go. 1, 2, 3.
Because. 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 I feel stupid.
He's given up. He's given up. You're not.
I have a
You're sacked. You've got to sack. You've got to sack. You're the chorus now.
Because.
Because. Because. Because. Because. Because. Because. Because. Because. Because. Because.
Cheers, Ron.
Thanks. Cheers, Edward.
Welcome to Muswell Hill, the madness of London.
Shall we do a slightly quieter one?
Yeah.
Boy, you would have been a better partner yesterday in masks, I think.
Oh no, you
got a good
you
addition.
need to check out Ron when he gets
Yeah,
going.
we're loosening up because these Americans are a bit uptight, you
They
know.
are. Yeah.
They haven't got the kind of British. I mean, the British, they've got the reputation
Yeah.
of being laid back and restrained because it's
Laid
all
back and restrained are two entirely different things. Laid back is, hey, cool. Have a glass of tequila with me, right?
Yeah, the British have got the reputation of two completely different things, laid back and restrained,
Yeah.
as my American wanky friend just pointed out. But that's because they're bottling it all up.
Ah.
So when they let it go,
It goes.
it goes.
Yeah.
We save ourselves.
And it creates an empire worldwide.
Yeah.
And you're lucky we let you off.
Thanks.
Because we could have still had you as...
I am reserved, you're right. It's wrong.
You're reserved. I know he's married. Yeah, quite.
Yeah.
See,
It's all right. No one's coming on at you. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
Right. This is based on Rudyard Kipling's poem, If. This cup of tea isn't what I'm about to do is.
This is a little bit more, you're a little bit more animated than last year's poetry reading, where you sat down and you read us poems about Adolf Hitler.
I did? Oh, sorry for that.
That's what,
So anyway, this is based, sorry, on Rudyard Kipling's poem, If. And this is called Biff. If you can make your bed when all about you are putting theirs into the Turner Prize, if you can trust sane people will not doubt you, though critics try to cut you down to size, if you can draw and not be bored with drawing, and draw things that can all be understood, which your fine dumb collectors are ignoring, although the things you've done are bloody good. If you call Hearst a fraud and not a master, it's lack of education that's to blame. If you point out Tate Modern's a disaster, and when you meet curators say the same. If you cannot believe what you've heard spoken on TV arts shows made by mindless fools, if you think auction houses aren't just broken, but less intelligent than infant schools, if you can see pretentious artists winning and watch it all and still not give a toss while they strut round their so-called artwork grinning, but as to why, I'm really at a loss. If you can paint, for painting is what matters, although your pictures always get rejected. Since gallerists are all as mad as hatters, it's something that is just to be expected. If you can turn your back on all temptation to cash in with some crap conceptual art and keep true to your vision for creation, the driving force that's fired you from the start, if you shrug off reactionary reaction and work with great integrity alone. You'll have complete creative satisfaction and end up dead in debt and quite unknown.
Very good. Lovely.
That's that one? Right. Yeah, I wish I
Sad, but lovely.
got everything with me, you know.
Sure. But we can always do another day as well.
Another day. So, any requests from last time?
The only one I remember is the Nicholas Sorotta one.
What about you, Rob?
Give me just a hint.
Okay,
What you brought.
okay.
'Cause-
We've got modern art, the bricks. We've got question of definition, which I haven't done. We've got the Art Pilgrim's Progress.
Oh, I like that one.
We've got,
That was about somebody I know.
huh?
That was the green one.
That was, yeah, you've got to guess who it's
Right.
about. At the end.
Oh, let's see if we can.
Not
work
after the
out
first
I think I
word.
might
Yeah.
have to guess, yes.
Actually, it's based on a true story.
Oh.
It's called An Art Pilgrim's Progress. It doesn't apply to everybody, just to Ron and Edgeworth and myself.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't apply to us.
Not even
That was a
close.
joke. So this is An Art Pilgrim's Progress. His teacher stopped him drawing. What a rumpus! Age 5, he promptly stabbed her with a compass. His life was tough as soon as he was born. Age 9, his father showed him hardcore porn and thought his growing son would rather see big boobs than watching children's BBC. Instead of cartoon fights to keep him quiet, he found real violence was a frequent diet. There were no smart, polite young men in blazers, just screaming sailors, ears hacked off with razors. You find out when you're living near a port that drunken violence is the local sport. He doesn't view all this with any pride. He says that he was often terrified. He learnt if some guy looked at you and cursed, you made damn sure you got your punch in first. Age 10, he glimpsed and loved Diana Dawes. Age 12, he started burgling local stores. He joined his vandal mates for nightly benders and ended up in jail for young offenders. He wore his granddad's hand-down set of togs. He used to train illegal fighting dogs. Much later, there was 6 months on the run. He didn't say exactly what he'd done. Who knows? Maybe assault and battery? At one point with his wife, he ran a cattery. A loving, tender carer for the pets. He changed, went out collecting unpaid debts. All that was how this pilgrim made a start. He saved himself when he discovered art.
Very good.
And now I will throw it open to the audience to guess who this is about. Is it about Edgeworth Johnstone? Is it about Ron Throop, spelt Throop?
No, he was a softie.
He was a softie. Is it about me?
No.
No, of course it's not. Say no.
It's Joe.
It's about Joe Machine. Here we are. Distant but not forgotten.
Yes, yeah. Gillingham, is he?
He's in the West Country.
Oh, is he out there still?
Yep, still out there.
Oh, okay.
In the West Country in Somerset. And I should say this is his history, but he has evolved out of that to be a very spiritual, dedicated artist and family man. And
Wonderful.
very responsible and religious. Which is more than I can say about myself. Or about Edgeworth or about Ron.
He was a bunch of cherry trees on Cranley. They were in blossom. And
Yeah.
Edgeworth was saying how Joe Machine used to do cherry blossoms a lot.
Yeah,
His paintings.
absolutely. The reason I left this mug here, so I've got my own mug, is because I don't actually like the design very much.
I love the mug. I was using it all week. So if you get sick, yep. I watched it.
I hope you didn't piss in it.
I'm not saying.
I'm sure you didn't. Right.
I rinsed it out, don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I ran it under a tap. You'll be fine, Charles.
Oh, fine. Yeah. Well, okay. I'm going to do this one, which is called Modern Art. And it is based on...
I hate to be a pain in the ass, but could you say that again? Could you, wait a minute, just give me a, thanks. Sorry. Thanks. Go ahead.
This poem... this poem,
Yeah.
I wrote it a long time ago. It's called Modern Art, Bricks. And it's based on an artwork bought by the Tate Gallery, I don't know, probably in the 70s, which was a rectangle of bricks by the American artist Carl Andre. And it caused a scandal in the press because at that time they spent, I don't know, 20,000, probably more like 200,000 now. And obviously a lot of people didn't think it was art. It was in the what's now Tate Britain, but that was the only Tate Gallery at the time. There wasn't a Tate Modern, it was just Tate Gallery at Pimlico on the banks of the River Thames. So I take the point of view of someone that appreciates this rectangle of bricks and goes along at Pimlico to view it. I am a connoisseur apart. The modern style is where I start. Extremity to me means art. The artist's task is to refine the formal values and combine the needs of volume, space and line. At Pimlico, it's left, left, straight, then left. I gaze inside the Tate at Andre's work, equivalent 8. It's built from bricks, its sense of weight, its placing and its volumes great. A solid concept, quite first rate. The press who lack historic caution complain the price is sheer extortion. But look at the superb proportion, the subtle shade and shape displayed, the acumen with which it's made, worth every penny that was paid. Its elegance is almost Greek. I see it as a sharp critique on man's dilemma, so to speak, when basic motions shown by Freud confront an existential void. And here the medium employed addresses the perceptive viewer with an aesthetic of the pure, which I am sure will still endure when man is ash. Its mass revealing convolving modes of thought and feeling, which put to shame the Sistine ceiling and all the conjurer's bravado displayed throughout the Louvre and Prado of Raphael and Leonardo. There's something wrong. I think I might have turned left where one should turn right. I did. I'm in a building site.
Fantastic. That was brilliant. That was awesome. Yeah, that's lovely. Jesus. Oh man. I stopped it.
Don't worry, I got it.
Good. Charles, that was amazing.
Brilliant, Charles.
I mean, really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you like joining in, folks.
Yeah.
This is a classic. I even know I say so myself. It's called A Question of Definition. Is it art? Oh yeah, this is a joining in one. Apart from the last stanza, it's simple, it's easy. All you've got to do, when I go like that, is go, but tell me, is it art? Let's practice, 1, 2, 3.
But tell me, is it art?
When cars break down, the AA man can get them all to start. You tell me this is practical, but tell me, is it art? You tell me you've a water wheel and drive a horse and cart. All this is self-sufficiency, but tell me, is it art? You tell me as we dine tonight and order a la carte that here the food is excellent, but tell me, is it art? You tell me that you love me, you vow we'll never part, and this no doubt is love all right, but tell me, is it art? You tell me you're a guru, and you promise to impart the secret of the universe, but tell me, is it art? For I'm an artist, I perform, I vomit, belch and fart. Since I'm an artist, you can tell that what I do is art.
Sweet.
Very good.
Oh, thank you very much. We have a very appreciative audience here tonight.
Oh, you certainly do.
They're all applauding enthusiastically, joining in, and one of them is hitting himself on the head because he's American, and that's what they do in America, is to celebrate their president. We over here are beyond celebrating our president, or dictator, or prime minister, sorry. I got that wrong, didn't I? Silly me. Oh, now I'm hitting myself on the head. Oh. It's really a night for people hitting themselves on the head, I can tell you. There's only one person here in the whole room that hasn't yet hit themselves on the head. And now he's hitting himself on the head too. Oh, this is a wonderful evening for people hitting themselves on the head. Okay. What are we going to do now?
Well, take a breather.
I can't, I'm not allowed to.
Okay.
It's against union rules.
All right.
Well, we've got one that's a little bit serious here. I don't really want to do that. Okay, right, let's redo this. This is probably be completely controversial, and you've got to be warned, you'll probably get banned, deplatformed, had your trousers taken off, and your underwear put on a flagpole.
Here we go.
What's the title?
Oh, this poem is by Ron Throop, in case you've got any problems with it. He lives in Oswego.
It's Throop. Thank you very much.
His name is Throop. I thought he said it was Troop.
It is.
And so if you've got any complaints about this poem, actually if you've got any complaints about this tea, which is kind of more or less white, it should actually be brown colour.
Yeah, I put a bit too much milk.
Yeah,
I like
too
it,
much milk, yeah.
This is Charles Thomson. People.
He's a bit sore, is Ron, because his name is spelt Throop, but it's pronounced Troop, whereas my name is spelt Thomson, and it's pronounced Thomson.
And nobody has a problem with that.
And nobody has a problem with that apart from Ron. Okay, so I thought I ought to write this because there's a lot of controversy nowadays about gender issues.
Oh.
So this is my personal take on the matter. Nobody else is implicated in this apart from me and Ron, to whom all complaints should be addressed.
To Charles Thomson.
So it's called Stuckism is non-binary. Stuckism is non-binary. It is unitary, meaning any fucker can join it. Not that there is anything to join anyway. You just say you're a Stuckist. Like you can just say you are a Surrealist, or an Impressionist, or a Dadaist, or a Cubist, or a Conceptualist, although not, I hope, the latter. I think you get the picture. No pun intended. However, I do have my version of Stuckism when I curate shows or edit books. Here I can that wasn't part of the poem, that was me getting it wrong. Here I can... Okay. Here I can proclaim, happily, that non-binary, binary, non-binary, gendered and not gendered, and any other kind of gendered, non-gendered, non-gendered, and or varieties of indeterminate or undeclared. I hope that covers everybody, not in the equestrian sense. Can rest assured that there is no discrimination and no notice whatsoever taken of such matters, at least in any discriminatory manner. At least I passed the Gorilla Girls test with a major stuck his show at Kent University. Of the major featured artists, 3 were people who define themselves as male, and 3 were people who define themselves as female. That is their gender choice and not mine. Not that it was in the slightest relevant, as I take no notice of such things, as I've already stated, and not that I even asked them, but I know them well, so I think I can be fairly confident. That just happened to be the way it worked out, on merit, and I'm sorry, but merit is the sole criterion, and not any bloody kind of PC identitarian shit. Did I just say that? It slipped out without thinking. Sorry. The show as a whole included, well, what did it include? Actually it included paintings, as that is all I'm interested in. Sorry. If you want to talk about gender type identities, it's not particularly my business. But from what I do know, we can certainly tick off gay, transvestite and in transition, or maybe just non-specific. As I said, I'm not sure, I haven't inquired in detail. Actually, to tell you the truth, every single type of gender is excluded, apart from one chauvinistic gender, namely artist. That's bad enough.
Nice.
And that, any complaints about that should be sent to Ron Throop
Thomson.
in Oswego.
Ronald Johnston Thomson.
Did you want the 7 days? Do we want to do it or not? It's up to you entirely.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so there's a very well-known song, 7 Drunken Nights, and a gentleman, I think we'll have to call him a gentleman because he probably is, returns to his home in the evening or night to find curious objects and things relating to his wife in bed. Such as, for example, he thinks he sees, for example, I don't know if it's in the song, it's just an example, maybe he sees a penis, which shouldn't be there, obviously, because his wife's meant to be alone. And she says, oh, it's just a carrot. And he says, oh, that's really funny, because I've never seen a carrot with pubic hair before. Mm. And that's the kind of premise of the song, the ludicrous excuses that the wife comes up with. So I've used that for the Tate Gallery, because they're always coming out with ludicrous excuses as well. Oh, yeah, my friends join in with this one, don't they? Where are we? Oh, yeah. It's... I'll do it and then you can do it in a second. I asked Sir Nicholas Sirota, please explain to me. He was the director of the Tate Gallery. He's gone elsewhere now, but we still honour him as the emblem of modern art in this country. Contemporary art, crap art in this country. Okay, so... let's have a practice. Yeah, we practice in a minute. 1, 2. I asked Sir Nicholas Sirota, please explain to me.
I asked Sir Nicholas Sirota, please explain to me.
Last Monday, when inside the Tate, as sober as could be, I saw a horse upon the wall where a work of art should be. I asked Sir Nicholas Sirota, please explain to me. Why is that horse upon the wall where a work of art should be? You really are a Philistine. I'm a connoisseur, a fan of this wonderful piece of sculpture by Maurizio Cattelan. There's a million horses round the world, and your one's rather poor. If you think a horse so special, then you need to get out more. Last Tuesday, when inside the Tate, as sober as could be, I saw a bed upon the floor, where a work of art should be. I asked Sir Nicholas Sirota, please explain to me. Why is that bed upon the floor where a work of art should be? You really are a Philistine. I'm powerful and wise. That bed's a Tracy Emin that was in the Turner Prize. There's a million beds around the world that do not merit fame. And this one that you've got in here seems very much the same. Last Wednesday, when inside the Tate, as sober as could be, I saw a shark inside a tank where a work of art should be. I asked Sir Nicholas Sirota, please explain to me. Why is that shark inside a tank where a work of art should be? You really are a Philistine. artistically cursed. That shark's a work of genius, conceived by Damien Hirst. I don't care what you call the thing, a shark is just a shark. There's millions of them ever since the days of Noah's Ark. Last Thursday, when inside the Tate, as sober as could be, I saw a glass of water which was labelled as a tree.
I asked Sir Nicholas Sirota, please explain to me.
Why do you have a glass of water labelled as a tree? You really are a Philistine. If you knew more, you'd see. Craig Martin's work is not a glass of water, it's a tree. When customs in Australia said we cannot let trees pass, Craig Martin said, it's not a tree, it's water in a glass. Last Friday, went inside the Tate, as sober as could be. I saw a room with faulty lights, where a work of art should be.
I asked Sir Nicholas Sirota, please explain to me.
Why have you got these faulty lights where a work of art should be? You really are a Philistine. More insight's what you need. These lights aren't faulty. They're a work of art by Martin Creed. His flashing lights and paper balls and other stupid tricks are things I tried and left behind about the age of 6. Last Saturday, inside the Tate, as sober as could be, I saw a rusty camper van where a work of art should be.
I asked Sir Nicholas Sirota, please explain to me.
Why have you got a camper van where a work of art should be? You really are a Philistine. Boy's greatness moves my heart. He taught that we're all artists and the things we do are art. I teach we're all brain surgeons, but I just like to explain that you're the first who needs an operation on the brain. Last Sunday, when inside the Tate, as sober as could be, I saw a tin of someone's shit where a work of art should be. I asked Sir Nicholas Sirota,
Please explain to me.
why have you got a tin of shit where a work of art should be? You really are a Philistine. Whingy, whiny, moany. This shit has been created by the rectum of Manzoni. Sir Nicholas, you are a fool! The Tate's become a farce. So you can take the bloody lot and stick it up your arse!
Nice.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry I've said it again. Although there are many more poems available, I will not tax the audience's tolerance and fine support, and he's shaking his head.
This is the highlight of my trip. Absolutely fantastic.
Unfortunately, Ron, who's come all the way from America, has a very disastrous time here, as this has turned out to be this turns out to be the highlight of his trip. So it just goes to show what the rest of it was like, doesn't it?
It's a good ending to my trip, let's say that.
It's a good ending. And he hasn't even gone yet. We're trying to get rid of him. He just won't
This
go.
poor guy's been holding on too long. I don't
Now,
know
what he did, am I allowed to say how you funded your trip?
Oh, no.
I'm not.
No.
Oh, that's a pity.
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay, it's all right. I won't say it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, doesn't.
Thank
Not
you.
a problem.
No,
Not a
I
problem.
haven't said it.
Okay, good. I know. I'm sorry to you, I'm just apologizing.
Yeah, well,
I'll explain later.
I'm gonna tell you anyway. He's turned into a male prostitute.
That's much better.
Mm.
That's very believable, by the way.
But only available to ladies over the age of 89.
Yeah. Yeah. They have the most money.
Unfortunately, so far, the only customer he had dropped dead after 5 minutes.
Right, I couldn't handle it, it was me.
I mean, I do have other poems, of course, but I wasn't intending to read any. But I'm very grateful for the support given to me by both of the audience.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was. I can't believe, I had
Thanks,
no idea you had that. I mean, last time it was a sit-down poetry reading. Last time, you know, you just were reading nicely, but never with all that
Gusto.
gusto and
Gusto.
pizzazz.
Well, you know, it's the audience draws it. Where did I put my book? A little book of poems.
I think
Under the
it's
table.
under.
Oh, silly me. Oh, well, I could read. I'll tell you what. I've got one really nice one here.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
To finish with, because it's quite special. Am I allowed to refer to your family?
Yes, you can say anything you want.
Oh,
Except-
right. Okay. Now everybody will want to know it.
No.
Okay, so this one we'll finish with on a gentle note. I wrote this a very long time ago. It's called Rosie.
Ah,
Now, can we say why?
yes.
Because
Rose is my wife.
Rose is my wife. Not my wife, your wife.
Right. Well, Charles Thomson's wife.
No, Ron
No.
Troop's wife.
Oh, okay.
No, she was my girlfriend. Oh, your wife wasn't my girlfriend.
No.
This woman I've written about was my girlfriend.
Right, right.
And not my wife. And
Right.
your wife isn't my wife either.
Right,
So I'm
'cause
glad
you-
we got that sorted out.
Because you're around through.
I'm not Ron Troop.
Oh,
You're
not?
No. Is he on camera? Can we show him just in case people need to identify him?
Okay.
A bit of an identikit lineup sort of
All
thing.
right.
Right. So this one anyway.
sorry. Go.
Life is looking rosy now that Rose has come to stay. Life is looking rosy and it's rosy all the way. 6 months ago my life was like a stay at Alcatraz, but Rosie came and made it shine like collars washed in Daz. For life is looking rosy since my Rose came out to play. Life is looking rosy and it's rosy all the way. I used to be an artist, but I somehow lost the knack, till Rosie came along and brought the inspiration back. And life is looking rosy now, with paint and ink and clay. Life is looking rosy, very rosy all the way. I've loved some ladies in the past, and pretty ones I'd say, but somehow I love Rosie in a slightly different way. So life is looking rosy now, it's rosy every day. It's rosy, 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 rosy all the way.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Ron Throop is one of the best poets in the world, I think. Good job, Ron.
He's trying to steal my poem. Now he thinks they're going to be popular. He's quite happy to be identified.